Okay, so now let's look at the power of a lens. So the power is equal to 1 over the focal length. This is something I recommend remembering. So this tells us that lenses with a shorter focal length are more powerful. So in other words, as the focal length decreases, the power of the lens increases, okay? So we can say that lenses that refract light more, so are more powerful, have a shorter focal length. Again, whenever I'm talking about lenses, I'm always referring back to refraction. So if refraction increases, so increase in refraction increases the power because there's more refraction, and decreases, well, the focal length is going to be shorter. Okay, so for example, if I draw a lens diagram, and let's do a high power lens. So I'm going to draw my object in. Say it's a convex lens. My parallel ray. Now this time it's going to have a really short focal length. So that means it's going to cause a high amount of refraction. So look how sharply that light ray bends when it meets the lens. So we've got high power leads to high refraction. And in this instance, we have a small focal length. Okay. Next, let's go on to a low power lens. And let's compare the differences. So again, let's draw a ray diagram for a convex lens. Just place my object. Now this time, we're going to place the focal length really far from the lens. So we've got a much longer focal length. So I'm going to draw my parallel ray. And then this time, the angle at which it refracts is very small compared to it was previously. Okay, so we've got a low power. So we've got low refraction. And therefore a large focal length. Okay, now the final thing you need to know for power is that for a combination of lenses, we have a different formula. So the total power of a system of multiple lenses is equal to the power of lens 1 plus the power of lens 2 plus the power of a third lens plus any more lenses. Okay, so that might look something like this. So here's my principal axis. I might have a convex lens. So that will have its own power. I might have a divergent lens. That will have its own power. I might have another convex lens with a different power. Let's call that P3. And this can go on. Now in the next video, we'll go through some exam questions of applying these formulas.